Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Half-time report halfway through the month of June. Been really interesting month using my, let's be honest, my expensive pens. So how have I been getting on with them? First pen, Nahvalur Nautilus. It's got a steel nib. So I'm going to get the nib there into focus. Perhaps if I turn the focus on. There we go. I know I struggle getting it. There we go. That should hopefully have focus in. I like this pen. It's one of the first Nautiluses that was released. It fits very nicely in my hand. It's comfortable. It's a nice size. It's a nice weight. It's a piston filler. One of the things I'm struggling with is the ink window. I know it looks really nice, these portholes. I don't find it very practical, but that's just me. It writes not too bad. Here's my notepad. This is Ding. It's a Chinese one that I got. Pure Pens People's Charter. To be honest with this, the ink doesn't show up as well as it really is. It's got a gorgeous, this dark, I'm not say dark crimson-y type back colour. But then when you are writing with it, certainly on nicer paper, there's a glorious green sheen to it, which comes out a little bit on here, but not that much, which is a shame because I really like the look of the ink. Downside with this pen, so far, what I've found is I've got issues with ink flow. After I've written a couple of pages, it literally will stop writing. And what I have to do is prime the feed. So a couple of twists here on the piston mechanism, and then that kicks back off and starts going again. But it's just something that I've found. What I'm going to do when this pen's been written out, I'm going to pull out the nib and the feed, give it a really good clean. It could be maybe an issue with some ink I've added previously, or maybe just this ink with it being a sheening ink. But that's a Nahvalur Nautilus. Really enjoyable. Getting on with that really well. To be honest, all this month's pens really enjoyable. Pen number 2, TWSBI Draco. Nice pattern on this. It's unusual. I know they said it's a limited edition, but let's be honest, I think it was, I can never remember, it was either 2,000 or 5,000. So it's not really that limited, is it? Very small nib. Rose gold coloured nib, although it's a steel nib. Hopefully we can get this into focus. There we go. Do you know, I can't get used to my preview because the preview's backwards, and no matter what I do, I can't get it to go the right way around. Little teeny tiny ink window. Not very useful for me. I really struggle to see the ink levels. One thing I have found with this, I don't know why, and it might just be me, it doesn't seem to take much ink when I fill it. And certainly not as much as I used to get. So again, could be just my memory, but doesn't seem to take as much ink. The ink though in here, Diamine Mulled wine, it ran out after 2 weeks and I've refilled it. I've put the same ink. I really like this ink. Here we go. Here's the ink for you to look at. Beautiful colour, get beautiful shading. Again, this Ding, not the best paper, so it doesn't show it off too well. Shows it off quite nicely though. This is, if you see my shorts videos, this is the book that I write on for them shorts. I like this. I do like the pen. I like the way it writes. I haven't had any issues really with it writing. It's just, it doesn't seem to hold as much ink as I thought. So that was pen number 2. Pen number 3, Sailor Progress Lim, the baby of the bunch for this month. Very small pen. I have to use this posted. Unlike the other two, this one is a cartridge converter. Not a lot of ink left in here. When this is finished, I'm not intending to fill this up. I might not even get any more writing out of it because there's that little ink. I may just get maybe a couple of sentences. So that might end up being cleaned out today. I love this I love this blue-green nebula colour. Let me just get the writing up. Here we go. So in there, I've got Diamine Marine. This is primarily, it's a turquoise ink, but it's got some gorgeous hints of green in there. I quite like that. Especially when you look at the next ink, you can see the green coming through when you compare them side by side. The pen's small, the pen's thin, the pen's quite light. I knew that going in. One of the things I do eventually intend to do is to get maybe the ProGear or maybe a Sailor 1911 large. I'm not sure. I just find this, it's a bit small, but the nib, it's glorious. Love writing with this nib. It's a 14 karat gold nib. It's such a nice feedback, a nice feel to it. Of the 6 pens, I think this is up there for being the nicest nib, I've got to be honest. My 4th pen, take out the tray, is from Visconti. This is the Vistante Van Gogh. I love the facets here on the body. It feels so nice in the hand. And the way, hopefully, I'm not sure if it'll capture the light here, the way I've got the light. But the light just bounces off these facets. I love the colouring. This is based on Van Gogh's portrait. I think it's I can never remember. I think it's portrait in blue. We've got blues, we've got turquoises, we've got browns. It's a fairly small nib. It's a steel nib. I have had a number of people saying they used to come with a gold nib. They don't anymore. I'd love this with a gold nib. I think that'd be really nice. I mean, for what you pay for this pen, it's a lot of money for a steel nibbed pen. It's writing. So again, let me get to the right page. So it's Diamine Aqua Lagoon. So you can see here, this is what I was saying. When I compare this with the marine, you can really see the green in the marine. Pen writes lovely. Really nice. It's another cartridge converter. This one does seem to take an awful lot of ink. I mean, I've written with it maybe for maybe 3, but I think more likely 4 full days. And there's still half a converter full of ink in there. The ink lasts really well. It's a broad nib. Gives a nice line, very, very pleasant. It's also got the magnetic cap. I know I showed this before, but if I just take that off and gently tap that, it'll snap on in place. So that's the Vistante Van Gogh. Pen number 5 for the month, the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. This was not only my first Leonardo pen, but my first Italian pen. From this, I've now got 3 Leonardos, 2 Viscontis, and a TWSBI pen. Quite like the Italian pens. I love this dark Hawaii colour. You've got blues, you've got browns, you've got different shades of blue. Steel nib. I believe the nib's a Joho nib, or Yoho nib. I can never pronounce that right. It's a broad... no, it's not. It's a medium nib. Such a really nice fit in the hand. Piston filling pen. One of my big downsides with this, no ink window, so I have no idea how much ink is in there. And in previous uses, I've been sat in a meeting writing away. It stops writing because it's out of ink. And, I just have no idea. That's really my biggest downside for this pen. Other than that, it's a beautiful feel, beautiful size, really nice pen to write with, very, very smooth. Let's take a look at the writing. So I've got a brown ink in here. I normally put blue inks, but I've got a nice brown at the moment. This is by Dominant Industry and it's Winterwood. And to me, this is a brown ink and there's hints of like a green sheen. Very pretty. Again, the sheen doesn't really show up on this paper. It's a nice combo there. Although I've got a broad nib in one of my other Leonardos. I'm not sure. I think this is my preferred size for the Leonardo pen. So it's Grande model. Love it. The final pen of the month is this. This is the Pilot Custom 823 vacuum filling pen. There's a bit of ink left in there. There you go. It's about maybe halfway full. I have refilled this. So I started the month with Dominant Industry Lungo. And after the first week it ran out. I knew that was going to happen. So I filled it up with Diamine Eau de Nil. Oh, I love it. It's got this, it's like an unusual colour. So it's another greeny blue type colour. Let me see if I can get, maybe that's a little bit better. Can't seem to get this to line up. I don't know, I'm having a bad day today with positionings. There we go. There we go, that's a bit better. Yeah, it's like and it does, I mean, I think Eau de Nil, I think it stands for Water of the Nile. So river water. And yeah, I can see that you've got the greeny colour, and you know, it's got a gorgeous look of it, as if you are looking into a river. Another pen, nice fit in the hand. 14 karat gold nib. This is a broad nib, writes so nicely. A little bit softer feeling than I get with the Sailor. The Sailor, it's got more of a stiff feel. I like this, but I say at the moment, I would say in terms of the way that the nib, the feedback and the way it feels, I do prefer the Sailor. I haven't brought in any other pens this month. I'm still using the 6 that I started with. As I've already said, the Sailor going to be cleaned out today. What I'm intending to do is none of the pens will be replaced, so the only pens that I'll be using for the whole of this month will be from this 6. And then as of tomorrow, I'll be down to 5. The Draco, that's getting fairly close to being empty again. It's nice. I know I do whinge a lot about this pen, but it's a nice writer. Got plenty of ink left in the Visconti, plenty of ink left in the Pilot. Absolutely no idea with the Leonardo. So looking forward to seeing what happens for the rest of the month. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Have you got any of these pens? What pens are you using? How are you getting on with them? Is there anything that you've learned? Anything you can report about the pens? Please drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.